Hey, True Believers England team here, and I got to talk about this guy. Tim Sheridan did a whole Twitter post and everything, and it was about basically buy my book because he's gay, and we know there are people who hate gay people out there. And he mentions, of course, Comicsgate and all, and I'm not a part of Comicsgate anymore, but I do have to admit that I feel a sense of pride because when we were part of it, it was something completely different. I hate what it's become, but I still hate when people attack, especially with no reason, especially they understand what they believe because right out the gate, by the way, when we were a comic book revolution, when a customer revolution, when we were trying to say, hey, look, guys, you're going in the wrong direction. You're going to cause sales to tank. When we were doing all of that, they were still saying you're hateful, you're bigots, you're racist, you're homophobes, you're everything under the sun. They wouldn't talk to us. Well, very rarely would they ever talk to us. And they already had made their minds up, not about one or two people, but about the thousands of people who would listen to the videos and would actually agree with what we're going to say and such. So this has been something that if you are even adjacent of Comicsgate, you're thrown into. Just some guy is left in politics. He's to the left, and I think he's gone even further. I haven't talked to him in a while, so this is all based on what I've seen and such, so understand that. And he's black, and they would still say, oh, you hate black people and that kind of stuff, and they would throw that stuff around. And so this doesn't surprise me. I understand that what this guy is somebody who does not know anyone in Comicsgate. He may have heard something. By the way, here is Evil Black Cat. How you doing, sir? Okay. This Tim Sheridan, he is somebody who, by the way, feel free to speak up when you're back there, Evil Black Cat.
Yeah, basically,
Hey,
I forgot to turn the mic
oh,
on.
you didn't know your
Yeah,
mic was muted? That's
yeah.
cool. Because of course I apparently when I'm doing this format, I can only have one of us up. So at least we can hear your comments and such. To continue the point, Tim Sheridan has no idea about anyone in Comicsgate except for maybe Ethan Van Sciver. He looks at whatever is said and then ignores it. If somebody says, wow, you're writing gay characters wrong, which has actually been said a lot, he'll hear it as you hate gay people.
No, he's blocking people just for suggesting they
Oh,
use Obsidian instead of Alan Scott.
oh my gosh, I know. He if you do not say absolutely yes, master, you are correct right now. I've seen this blockchain going on. I think I'm blocked now because I follow a guy named Oz Chris, and he said something along those lines. I read what he said. It was not, and we're going to go over some comments anyway, but I read what he said, and it was not attacking gay people. He's just blocking. I don't know what kind of marketing this guy believes he's in, but that's not the way to do it. This is truly 2016 and 2017, 2018 all over again. The JSN, it's a publicity stunt. Absolutely. We're going to get into that in just a little bit because I'll tell you what, when I'm going to play this video, and the first time I heard this video, I even posted it on my Twitter, and I'm going to keep calling it Twitter because I don't know what my X. I X'd out some thoughts, I guess. I don't know. That means deleted. But anyway, on my Twitter account, I posted he is using the same tactics as Young Rippa to sell a comic. He's using the same tactics as Comicsgate to sell comics. Definitely Ethan Van Sciver when he sold his book. Richard did the same thing. DNC, your boy Zach, he did the same thing. You get your YouTube channel together and you do whatever it is you're doing, and you say, hey, buy my book. And if you are Ethan over at Comicsgate, if you're Young Rippa, to a lesser extent, because I believe that Zach or Richard backed off before he did his books, you cultivate what am I trying to say? An environment of us versus them. With us, it was the non-woke to the woke, or at that time it was the non-SJW to the SJW. And people go, yeah, Ethan is saying the same thing we believe. Let's buy his book. Young Rippa, definitely that. Young Rippa, absolutely that, by the way. His the millions of dollars that was put into that first book. Not saying so much the second, because at that point, you've got something there showing, do you like it or not? So I'm sure more people bought it based on the quality of the book. But the first one's because Young Rippa is saying what I'm thinking. So I have to support this. I have to support the non-woke versus the woke. That is what this guy's doing. He's saying there's people out there like Comicsgate. He brings up, I think he brings up Comicsgate specific, and they are bigots and they're homophobes and blah, 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 and he's trying to fire up the base. That base that would go, yeah, everybody who disagrees with you does hate gay people. Buy that book, in hopes that maybe he'll get the 3 million sales. The problem is that historically, we've seen that the people who are on that side of the SJW fence
are gonna click the yo-ho-ho sites.
Yeah, they don't buy comics. One thing I truly would love to bring back is the what was that thing where Zach brought
move the needle.
Move the needle. Yeah, put your books on display. As a matter of fact, maybe that's what I'll call. I was thinking of bringing back that Marvel versus DC thing. Maybe that's what I'll call the hot comics of the week. Move the needle. You know, you guys bring in your books. What did you like? You know, I can tell you what I like. It's my channel, obviously. But what did you like so much that you put your hard-earned money down? And is it these woke books? Is it the Tim Sheridan thing? I'm going to doubt it. Hey, Paolo, look who's up early. I've been up since 4 o'clock. Around there, Gail woke me up, and I have not yet been back to sleep.
What time is it by you now?
It is 9:54. It's almost 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I did get some work done today. I've got the first appearance of Morbius over on from the long box. I've got the first appearance of Morbius. Just now I reposted an old video where I went through the Ta-Nehisi Coates Captain America, where he made, oh goodness, what's the psychiatrist's name escaping me? Older guy, clean your room. Shit, I hate it when
Jordan Peterson,
where he made him the Red Skull.
I thought you were talking about the psychiatrist guy in Captain America.
No, and then I'm going to have some new reviews up, and so by all means, please, if you haven't already subscribed to From the Long Box, the link is in the description below. That's where I
schedule the Morbius video and just
3 o'clock.
Yeah,
I have scheduled the Morbius. It's going to be up at 3 o'clock.
Put it on Twitter. 3 o'clock. It's Morbin time.
There you go. Yeah, that's actually what I did. It's Morbin time right there on the thumbnail. Yeah. So anywho, let's get to what Tim Sheridan here is saying. See if I can't find the freaking. I shared it and then I can't find it here again. No, that's not it. Or is it? Yes, it is. Okay. Let me see if I. Okay. Here we go. And I think if I push, nope. Okay, where do I need to push play? Just push play. Fucking A. Right here is where I need to push play. No, damn it. Professionalism, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Hey, I'm Tim Sheridan, writer of DC's Alan
Can you hear it?
The Green Lantern, and I just opened up a box of advanced copies of issue 1, which look amazing. This is the main cover, which also gets a virgin foil variant, and that's by the great and powerful David Talaski. There's also 2 other amazing variants, one by John K. Snyder III, and this beautiful portrait by Nick Robles.
Can you guys
I am here to ask you a favor.
I can.
The book comes out next DC Tuesday, October 24th, but already the haters and the queer phobes are out in force, doing everything they can to see that this book tanks.
Okay, the reason being is because we have, not only do you have the preview where we got about J. Edgar Hoover and all that kind of stuff, where J. Edgar Hoover is blackmailing Green Lantern for sex. We got in every goddamn DC book, all we get is a gay sex scene in the back of every DC comic. What is the appeal here to comic book fans? Seriously. I mean, I get it. Gay people, go on ahead. I mean, if you are, if that is what you're doing, hey, Captain Frugal, what's up?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we're going through this. If you want to buy gay literature, buy gay literature. What does this have to do with the Green Lantern? I understand if he is gay. Okay, look, he's been that way since the 90s. I wasn't, or the early 2000s. I wasn't a big fan of it because I always believed if you want to do this, create a new character.
An alternate version has been since 2012 or 2013, but the modern Green Lantern, that happened 2021 after the COVID
Really?
bullshit.
Am I so off on my dates that I'm like 10 years away?
Yeah,
I thought it was 20 years now. It's only been 10.
The Alan Scott from a different universe in the New 52, that was 10 years ago.
But they mentioned before the New 52, they mentioned what did they used to call Green Lantern there, Cap? You remember?
No, that wasn't him. That was
Sentinel.
his son.
Oh, okay.
His
the Sentinel.
son
I thought Obsidian was his son.
Yeah, Obsidian was
Obsidian's
gay.
his son.
Yeah, but they made the Sentinel gay as well back in the 90s, 2000s.
No. Alan Scott came out in 2021 in that new age of whatever that bullshit was right after Death Metal. Like
maybe I got my dates wrong.
We actually did that here. Like we reacted to that.
Yeah, I'm okay with saying I got something wrong. What's up, Captain?
Oh, first I'd like to say thanks for having me on.
Anytime. I wish you'd be on more often.
I know life has just been busy. I was working on my weekly comic book review, and I said I'm going to hop in here and say hi and say a few things. I'm going to come out today, just for the record, and I'm going to come out and say I don't care. Kids. Yeah, I don't care if he's no. My point is this: I'm going to come out and say I don't care if the character's gay or not. My main issue here is when the writer makes it all about the character being gay.
Thank you.
That's my issue. I think that's what most people's issue is. We don't care if you're gay. But when you sit there and say, buy this book because he's gay or she's gay, that's where we have an issue.
And that's what we're going to find out he's doing here. Also, one thing I've said is the two big ones that came out in the last few years was John Kent and Tim Drake. Robin.
Yeah.
Now, my thing, I am absolutely 100% against Tim Drake because he's had a 30-year history.
One of the best relationships in DC Comics
I know,
history.
Right? To fuck up the that's right, with Stephanie and Tim Drake. He's had a 30-year history, so going after him was so freaking stupid. Damian would have been a better story because Damian comes from a part of the world that frowns on it. So this was
he comes from Nepal.
Okay, sorry. I thought he was from the Middle East.
No, his grandfather used to live in the Middle East at one point.
I am being corrected all over the place here. Thank you very much for keeping me on my toes. But I still think it would have been a better story making Damian. John Kent, he had not been established. So him being gay, okay, fine. But as soon as John Kent became gay, all he was gay. Right. He was not a character beyond being gay. If you want a poorly written gay character, it seems the worst you can do to that character is give him to a gay writer. The same thing I'll say the same thing about women. You want poorly written women, let women write them. Because as soon as they do that, it becomes Fire and Ice. Yeah. Smallville. Because they only write them as that. Same thing with black characters.
They only write them as themselves. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Oh, Mr. Miracle. I remember I did a review of the Mr. Miracle comic that came out like 2 years ago. And the book starts with him doing a stunt where he dives from space. Okay, he skydives from space. And then he talks about white privilege. I'm like, you, do you know how much money it would have taken to set up? You went up in fucking space, you're freaking superhero, and you're telling, well, I'm put upon because this guy's white. The guy at the freaking Taco Bell who rung up my freaking tacos is white, therefore I am oppressed.
Yeah.
It just, oh, good Lord in heaven. And I'm sorry, but a guy living in Crime Hills, Florida, a black guy living in Crime Hills, Florida, here where I grew up, by the way, is not having the same in life as Barack Obama. It ain't white, black, or any other privilege. So anywho, getting a little bit off track here. Let's it's not that the Green Lantern is gay that makes people already wanting to try to tank the book. It's because he's a poorly written gay man.
Well, yeah, they're selling the whole book on that. I mean, you look at the preview. The preview they give you is, hey, he's gay, people, and he's, you know, and it's looked down upon, and they're gotta hide it. It's like you're promoting the book on him being gay. What do you expect? And where's the market? I'm sorry, but you think they would have learned by now? We've seen it in Iceman with multiple reboots and these other characters.
Oh my gosh.
Just selling it on them being gay isn't going to do it. Sell it on them being a great character that happens to be gay.
Iceman is two different characters, pre and post.
Yeah.
And post is only gay. I mean, I remember him having adventures. I remember him being a pretty cool superhero. And then when they made him gay, he's like, oh, I've got the gay handbook. There were people in my chats. There were gay people in my chats as I was reading the book going, holy, this is offensive.
Yeah.
And that's what ends up happening.
And take it, look at that. Look at how they're treating people that are gay or LGBT, whatever you want to say. They're saying the only way you'll care about something or you need to support this is because they're gay.
Well, all gay people think alike. That's what that's what we're not understanding, that Tim Sheridan here understands. All gay people think alike. If you do not think like Tim Sheridan, you shall be blocked and your gay card will be removed.
And I know it's going to sound bad.
Gay people, yes.
Yeah. I was going to give this book a chance. I was until I seen this. And I seen this, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I know it's going to be garbage already because you can tell the whole focus is on that.
Read comics online for me. There will not be money exchanging anywhere for me to read this book. That will not be happening. Will I do a review about it? Probably so. I can see the clicks and such coming from this, but yeah, no, I won't. Let me get some comments here. Paolo is saying this book is written to appeal to no one. I can't even see shippers interested in Green Lantern / J. Edgar Hoover / fic. Now, I do think we're going to see more of this, but he goes after people who are thinking that J. Edgar Hoover or blackmailed him to go to a gay party, even though that was in the preview. Eric is saying, good job keeping E on his toes. Now, if only he could see them. Fat joke. This is a fat joke by a fat man, by the way. So God bless him. FRAGMINION, what's up, man? At least I ain't got BREEN. Ain't a BREEN gots. I'm not quite sure what that means. Selling the whole book on that, I bet they ain't gonna have the reality. That's true. I don't think this book's gonna sell based on that. Mr. E is saying, hey, Mr. E, what's up? What I hate most is the offering of a character with a long and established history in a way that makes no damn sense for the character. And that's one of the things that that they are doing. They're pushing people who are guaranteed to buy your book out of the industry because they want to take these characters who've been around for 80 years and fuck them up. I mean, and that's it. You're screwing them up. There is a core to every character. And this is not it, you dumb ass freaking Eugene Levy looking. I mean, just no.
You know, there's another issue too that I have with this book and several of the Dawn of DC books, the current She-Hulk. It's like these companies think that tapping the young adult novel writer is going to be successful for comic books, and I don't think we've seen that success transition. Those people getting pulled in, and you look at these young adult writers; they're all fixated on sex. First of all, they don't know anything about story pacing. You read these stories; their pacing is awful. The art style too; they're all trying to use the same similar, very simplistic art style, and they all fail to understand the characters, and there's hardly any action. I'm sorry, comic book doesn't need to be page to page, people punching each other in the face, but a comic book needs some action in it for crying out loud.
Yes, you're in the. I'm, you know, you're a little bit younger than I am, but I think we're still the same generation. So I'm gonna play this card. You can join me on this. But back in my day,
you betcha.
Back in my day, they actually had a lot of dialogue and characterization during the action.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, FRAGMINION, for the $20 super chat saying, last day of my vacation, $20 to not read the gay book, but used to review the gay book for hits. Happy life, everybody. Frag off later. Man, you know what? Never stop being FRAGMINION. That is all I got to say about you, man. It's awesome. Thank you very much for the super chat. And yes, now I think he made it so I have to buy the book. What did that say? He gave that money so I could buy the book. I don't know. That's like a double-edged sword. It's like, yay, $20 super chat.
No, he said review. He just said review it.
That's right. He said review. That's the
yo ho ho it, but apparently consider it a commission.
Okay, so Cap is right, says Jay. The young adult revolution in comics is, and he's throwing up. The only thing I could think of that is, and if I'm wrong, by all means, please, somebody, once again, correct me. I think the greatest thing to come out of any young adult writer is America Chavez. I honestly believe that. America Chavez, Eric and I, we joke about it all the time. America Chavez is a national treasure. America Chavez is written by Gabrielle, oh my gosh, not Union. Gabby Rivera. Thank you. If I say Gabrielle, I lose it. Gabby Rivera.
You got it.
Yeah, that is so bad. It is the comic book Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's the comic book The Room. I mean, it is a great freaking book for how bad it is. Palo, I am ready to embrace Fantagraphics as the premier American comic book publisher, at least when they publish since Slice of Life Gay Romance. They're honest about it. I don't fault independent comic books for doing this kind of thing, because usually an independent comic book is a singular vision or a planned vision between artist and writer. It's their own character. That's fine. Right now, Tim Sheridan is the ward of Alan Scott. And the first rule always should be do no harm. And unfortunately, that's not what they're doing here. That's not what the young adult readers are doing, or writers are doing. All righty. Let me go back to the video here and we'll continue.
They use code and they make it sound like they have legit problems with a book they haven't read yet.
Okay. That is an assumption. That is right there. This is what I was talking about before we started the video, how they will listen to everything we say and go, oh, that's code for you don't like people. Sorry, dude. Listen to what's being said. Take it as constructive criticism. Maybe your writing will be better. Good Lord, what the is wrong with the comic book industry that they can't get a person to write 2 decent sentences together?
They make it sound like we never say another book sucks that has a straight character or something. I'm sorry, but there's been plenty of crap books out there.
This is like a literal 2-minute video. We're 30 minutes in. This is there's a lot to be said about this shit. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely the most disingenuous thing. I swear to God, if I tell this guy, come on my channel, we need to talk about this, he'll block the fuck out of me.
Yep.
Because he can't back that shit up.
You gotta give E a lot of credit. He's unpacking a lot right here in this short 2 minutes.
All right, let's go.
But the truth is, they just don't like that there's a queer hero in the upper rank.
Okay, and you know what? I'm gonna do what every straight, or as a gay friend of mine had once said, Aaron, before you, I've never met anyone who was a flaming heterosexual. I'm gonna point to the same thing that all flaming heterosexuals say: Midnighter and fucking Apollo. There you go. They have been proven to be able to have a good gay character. There's also gay characters out there that people don't hate if they're written well. Look at the Sandman written 30 freaking years ago, when according to everybody now, we were beating gay people in the streets. Freaking hell, according to what they say now, 1980s was fucking Fallujah. Good Lord in heaven. If you look at the Sandman, they had trans, they had gay, they had all sorts. And people count that as the greatest comic book on time of all time. You fucking idiot, Tim Sheridan.
Exactly.
You bigoted idiot.
I think it's a point you bring up too. We don't have flaming heterosexuals that are showing. I mean that's part of the problem. They think, once again, you want equality, you want to be treated like everybody else. Good. Fine, then quit throwing your sexuality in everybody's face. When we meet up with each other, we don't pull out a flag and a special handshake and tell you, hey, welcome, fellow heterosexual. How you doing today? We just don't do that. It doesn't make any sense in the writing. It doesn't come off natural. And let's be honest, every gay person that you know or talk to, very few will ever be like they portray.
I've never met a gay person who acts like that. The most obviously gay person I've ever met didn't act like that. Huge freaking black guy. I mean, this guy was, he went into security at Universal Studios. I remember I asked him, hey, we got a problem here. Can you just stand behind me and don't speak, please? Because he was intimidating as fuck. But he sounded like a gay Mike Tyson, man. He was just way up high voice, lispy as heck. I was like, okay, it's like you're the most intimidating guy I know until you talk. But he still could crush me between his fingers, though. I mean, it would be like, you're dead now. Anywho, let's get back to the video here. All right, maybe we could go 30 seconds.
Thanks of the DCU. The only way we can shut these people down is to make this book an undeniable success.
This right here is what I was talking about. I agree that this works, by the way, because we've seen it with Young Ripa. We've seen it with Ethan Van Sciver and with Diversity in Comics. He's saying, hey, guys, there's the enemy. If you want to fight the enemy, you buy this book.
Well, there's the whole problem I have with the premise. Why do we have to be an enemy? Why can't it be, we wrote a book so good that everybody's going to like it?
Yeah. How about, hey, guys, you saw 3 pages in a 22-page comic. There's other things that go on here. There's a lot of subtext. There's things that are going to play out throughout the entire series. That would be good. Because the truth is we only saw a few pages of a 22-page comic book. But these are the few pages that they put out there saying this is our best foot forward.
Yep. You don't put a marketing campaign with something that doesn't matter. You put out what shows it off. Like any movie trailer and things is to entice you, to excite you to want to read that. All this is to say, hey, it's gay. Now rile up all the people that are gay, LGBT. We need to show everybody that, you know, this is the best. We shove everybody down and assuming that everybody else hates gays and things, which, let's be honest, come on now, it's just not that way. Just because you don't like something, even if you don't approve of the lifestyle, does not mean there's hate there. That's one of the biggest lies being shown out there. I'm a Christian. I'll fully admit it. I have my beliefs, but I don't hate gay people. Plain and simple. I love them. I'm supposed to love everybody. I strive to do that.
Christians are actually commanded, hate the sin, not the sinner.
Exactly. And that's one of the things they try to put us as we're judging everybody. We're actually supposed to be judging ourselves.
You know what? It's my job to judge. I'm judging the writing of the comic book. I'm judging the art of the comic book. If this guy is so stupid he can't handle that, or he wants to make up boogeymen and all that, that's on him.
Creating a fight that isn't there to try to generate sales, but yet claiming everybody else that uses this same kind of tactic is evil, bad people. They're doing the same thing. Like you said, hypocrites.
Let's go.
The only way to prove to all the big publishers that there's a huge market for authentic stories about LGBTQIA+ characters and that these stories are for everyone is to buy the heck out of books like this.
Okay, here's a question I actually have. And this does go all around the block. Once again, him, Ethan, Ripa, DNC, any of the other comics gators who say, hey, I am standing up for you, therefore buy my comic. is this a natural market? If he's making a call to arms, like buying this book is going to, it's going to elevate you in some way. You're joining a cause. Does this create a natural market, or is this just, would it be like hyped? I mean, this is how many people are going to buy this book solely for? It's like the Young Rippaverse or whatever you want to call it. How many people are buying the book? Like if Young Rippa put that book on the shelf without being Young Rippa on YouTube going, hey, you know what? You stand by me because I stand for you. I don't know if that's natural enough. I don't know if that's it's a well. I don't know if you can really tell if there's a market for it. What do you think?
I'm not sure about that, but I think liking this video, subscribing, and putting $1 in the Ko-Fi helps.
I do too. I think that would show you are committed to the cause. Thank you. That shows that you are committed to the cause, and it just reestablishes that I myself stand by and stand for you and all the things we are against as far as what Tim Sheridan is bringing up here. That is true. There you go.
You know, and I think you bring up a good point. Really, as far as I can tell, I mean, I haven't done a lot of thorough research in this. There's no real metric to see if that's actually working, or if these books would sell on their own without the person pushing a media push behind that. But to be fair, too, it's sort of like that way for every product. If a product isn't marketed, it's not going to sell. So we might be splitting hairs here, but it would be interesting to see some kind of study done, a writer with a big name that has or one of these people like Young Rippa, if he put out a comic book without saying anything, using a pen name, and just drop it to the comic shops and see how it does. It would be
the Richard Bachman thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so got a couple more. Let's see. I have a rant about that coming in my weekly comic review that will be out later today. Okay. Oh, by the way, you should always repost your inflation video or remake it. That is one of the most brilliant videos I've ever seen.
You give me way too much credit. Thank you.
I don't think I am. I think I'm underselling here, guys. Captain Frugal, he went through people's wages versus the cost of comics and how quickly comics have risen versus the wages and the percentages that you're spending and such. And I thought, once again, I thought it was a brilliant video. If you have not yet subscribed to Captain Frugal, he does a lot of stuff with your family. You've been doing some guitar things. Obviously you would be a better sell of your channel than I, but that video right there was one of my favorite videos of anybody within the the OG Comicsgate area. Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate any plug I can get. I don't market my channel effectively. I do everything you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I don't follow hot trends. I don't stay to one main topic. I do the things I enjoy, and it shows.
Yeah, you're supposed to niche down, but you're like all over the place. You know what? Today I'm going to review fried eggs. All right. Exactly. So Mr. E is saying, I was best man at a gay wedding. That argument isn't going to work here. By the way, I've had many hosts that were either gay or bi. At one point in time, Dalton and I Corrupt were getting into a huge gay conversation. I'm like, guys, you got to bring it back. Bring it back. Okay. Okay. Alpha Eagle, what's up? Is saying, I saw this video last night. He never talks about the book. And he's right about that. He never talks about the book. He never says it's good. It's all buy my book or the gays will suffer. Otis saying everything has a market. I'm sure gay characters were undervalued and underutilized. Now they're overdoing it. And calling people ists and phobes for not already making them incredibly popular. Okay, let's move on.
This one's only 6 issues and each one has a few variants. So I'm asking, if you have the means, buy them up. Buy extras to give to people you think really need to read it. Now, you might say this sounds like a great way for Tim Sheridan to make a bundle in royalties. Well, no, I won't make a penny because every single royalty I receive from these 6 issues will go straight to a charity that's very important to me and that I've supported for a long time, the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which works to prevent HIV stigma and provide compassionate care for all communities.
Okay, there we go. I can't say anything bad about that.
No.
I mean, if he's true, okay, good on you, Tim Sheridan. All right, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, moving on.
I am asking you to join the Corps.
All right, dude. Right after I praised you, you just said cringe. Oh, by the way, I do have that ring too. So that's one of those plastic ones that you got. Like anytime you buy a Green Lantern comic, people ordered so many of them, they're still giving them away.
If you care about truth and justice, about shining a light in the darkness, if you think comics are and should continue to be for everyone.
Hold on there, Haas. Whoa. How do I pause this again? Okay. Comic books aren't for everybody.
No.
They are not for everybody. And Tim Sheridan has been proving this all throughout. Hey, look, you know what? Comic books, by the way, in all honesty, comic books have always been for everyone. Comic books, they've been the one accepting community since the very beginning. Look at the gray on my beard. This is coming from experience. I started reading comics when I was 4 years old in 1974.
You started reading when they weren't cool.
Exactly. I started collecting in 1980. I already had a lot of comics at that point in time, but that's when I started sliding them into the plastic bags and making sure that everything was in order and such like that. Comic books have been inviting and accepting of everybody for my lifetime. The people who didn't read them didn't want to, and for the most part would in some way, shape, or form ostracize, insult, belittle people who did. You talk about, well, they kept girls out. No, we wanted fucking girls in it. Trust me. It's the girls themselves. With,
we wanted the girls.
Exception. Yeah, with exception.
I used to read comics with girls. It was great.
There you go.
I still do. My wife. I married one. So what can I say?
My wife liked Hellblazer. I managed to get her to read that book, and then she just never picked up another one. But that's the thing. Back in the day, the people who didn't want to read them would actually look down upon those that did. And that's for any geek thing. God save you if you actually admitted to anyone in a middle school, or in my day, it was junior high, that you played Dungeons and Dragons, or in my case, Champions, or Villains and Vigilantes. They would go after you. It's always been for everyone. But these days, if you don't think like Tim Sheridan, they will block the fuck out of you. They don't want you as a reader, and they've made that very clear with videos like this shit.
You make such a great point. He's here saying how it's for everybody, but look at anybody that does not 100% agree with him on social media right now. He is blocking left and right. They don't want it for everybody like they claim. They want it for themselves. Let's be honest. They're using it as a guise. We want everyone together. Baloney, because you've already started this with, we have a war against some other people, so clearly you don't care about being together with them. And anybody that disagrees with you, you block. So you want everybody? It's for everybody. No, it's for everybody that agrees with you.
With me? No,
not you.
Ahsoka,
clearly up? Not you.
Somebody said, Ahsoka saying comic books have been for everyone, but since these new people have gotten in, they are making only for them. Though I say this about, like, don't wish for new characters to come back, but the truth is one of the worst things to happen to any geek industry. Just name which one. Any corner of geek culture that has accepted mainstream, has accepted these whiny blue hairs that are now changing everything and trying to kick out the old guard. It is not for everybody, and it's not because of what we were doing. It's what Tim Sheridan is doing. If he wants to stand up, I'll put a face to it. This is the Tim Sheridan movement. If he wants it.
Right. I mean, when has it been a good marketing decision for anybody to say, hey, our product's great for everybody, but you? No, the best marketing is to get as many people to buy that thing as possible to say, hey, this is good for you and you. Hey, we might have some disagreements here, but these shoes still fit your feet, or whatever it is.
Here's
Ridiculous.
something that I don't think Tim Sheridan is really thinking about. What if he opens himself up to new ideas, gives or sells, promotes his comic book to people he hates? Someone reads it and goes, huh, maybe I was wrong.
Exactly. Open up some minds. Prove people wrong. Write a comic so good, people go, wow, this is great. This is wonderful. I don't care that the writer's gay. They still write a relatable character. I don't care that the character's gay. I still find him to be a relatable character because, yes, we don't only relate to characters that sleep with the same sex that we do.
That's true. As a matter of fact, I don't even think that was a thing. I never even thought of that until people like him bring it up. Let's see. Another thing he says, comics are for, yep. He's gatekeeping people who disagree.
He doesn't seem like a bad person. He seems like he's coming off as a nice person in a degree. Just, I think he's misguided.
Oh, I hope you're right, because to me, he's coming off like a bad person. That could be you're much more forgiving person than I am. Let's move on to another. We've got that's it. If he sells enough comics to earn royalty, says Michael Hart. That's true. Also, if he's telling the truth that he's going to donate, because he could say he's going to donate all he wants. Being so accepting, says Ed Brewer, is why we're in this mess right now. So saying this man would be one of the ones who insult you for reading comics back in the 80s. Paolo saying Tim Sheridan is like all those milkshake loving normies who've never heard of Dennis Kitchen publication that helped launch Howard Cruz's career in the 1970s. I did. I get that reference. All right, let's move on here.
Comicsgate trolls back under the bridge they crawled out from, please support our book and send a message that the bullying and the lies and the hate have to stop.
Okay. How about yours, Tim? How about stop blocking people for a different opinion? If you stand up, you explain your opinion, your thoughts. Like I said, perhaps you will turn somebody around. Perhaps you'll learn and maybe even accept the fact that if somebody is criticizing your writing, it's not because, oh, we hate gay people. It's just you're not a good writer. And Tim, so far, not a good writer.
Everyone deserves to see themselves in comics.
Okay, this is something that I've heard over and over again, and I get it. To a certain degree, he's right. There's a famous story. Michelle Nichols. She talks about, I probably said that name wrong. When she played Uhura in Star Trek, she was going to quit because they just didn't give her enough to do. And Martin Luther King says, no, you're part of the officers. You're part of the crew there. And it's good for Black kids to see that they can achieve this. So I understand to an extent how that is important. On the other hand, what makes a hero great is that they make people aspire to be them because of what's on the inside. I had an argument with an editor a long time ago when it was really going. The OGCG was really going. And we were talking about Falcon being in Captain America's outfit. And I said, it just doesn't mean anything. And she goes, she says something, but no, because she said something along the lines of anyone can be Captain America. And I said, then all that matters is the suit and not the man. The values doesn't matter. The values is what makes anyone, be they Black, white, Asian, whatever, man, woman, read a Spider-Man comic and go, yeah, if I have the power to help, I should help. That's the core of Spider-Man. The Superman, the core of Superman is that he will do good always.
Yes.
And those things are what inspires. One of my favorite heroes of when I was a kid reading comics was Power Man, was Luke Cage. You think I had anything in common with Luke Cage?
I loved him and Iron Fist together. Excellent series.
Yeah.
You know, your whole point there too is something that bug, you know, that it's I think so on the nose, and it's something that bugs me because this is why I see it. When you see children, they don't care what color you are or gender much. They just care if you're a cool hero that they like. And to sit there and say, we need to inject these people because they have to be like us. That's not a kid or regular person issue. That's a you issue that you feel that character has to look just like you and be just like you. That doesn't, if you think about it, it doesn't support the character's views at all. The heroes are taking care of and helping everybody, not just, well, if you look like me, you have to be special. It just doesn't make sense. As kids weren't going, all of a sudden, I need to paint myself green and be a turtle. Sure, they might want to dress up like one, but they knew they weren't a turtle. They knew they weren't an alien from outer space. They still enjoyed those characters because, like you said, they had characteristics in them that appealed to people. Superman's going to do the right thing. Spider-Man's going to do the right thing, no matter how much it ruins his personal life. That's what we gained on. We are stopping evil. They're creating things that don't exist because of their perversions of reality. You have to look like me, otherwise you're a bigot. So this character has to be like me. We didn't care. They missed the mark.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, also just to put a little pin in this, anytime somebody would take over for a hero, it was to show that only that person could be the hero because they had the right values to be. When Nightwing took over for Batman, it wasn't a great fit, not for Nightwing nor for Batman, because he isn't Bruce Wayne. When you would see the Falcon, or in the past anyway, when you would see what's his name, John something or other, take over for Captain America, it was to show that only Steve Rogers could be Captain America.
Bucky Barnes, John Walker,
and Sam John Wilson. Walker, thank you. The Marvel Spider-Man video games in the second one have done well. Cool. I have not yet played them.
Everyone needs allies, and if you're an ally, now is the time to step up.
Do comic skaters need allies there, Tim?
We outnumber them, so let's pool our power.
You know, Tim, that has not yet been proven. And you may outnumber, but the people who actually buy comics are in Comicsgate. They're in this they're in this environment.
Honestly, I challenge the view that they're outnumbered either way.
Yeah.
I think there's some fictitious manipulations there. I could be wrong, but I'm sorry, the population doesn't shift that dramatically over time. Maybe people being more accepted, make more coming out. But let's be honest, we have people now changing their gender terms and all that just to get jobs and get work or get special treatment. Get mad at me for saying that all you want, but that's true. We've seen it.
Well, yeah, that just recently, that one tech thing for women, and all the guys showed up, went, non-binary, give me a job.
Exactly.
You know, the guy gets on stage and chastises him. I'm like, wait a second, you made the fucking rules, man. They didn't, you did. They're just living by them.
Power, vote with our wallets and beat these assholes.
Now, was that really necessary? It's like, look, I understand. I've seen bad tweets and I've seen bad videos and I've seen all sorts of bad things going on. But who specifically said something to Tim Sheridan? And by the way, in this little, I know I know my channel's shadow banned. I'm not reaching as many people as I used to when this was first going on. But please, you know what? I don't even have to ask this. I know you guys are smarter, that if you do say something, you're not using profanity and you're not using slurs and all that, which I did see when it was OGCG. You would get the trolls going in, oh, I'm an edgelord. I'm going to go in and I'm going to say the dumbest fucking shit anybody could ever say that would make our side look crazy. My whole point was, we need to point, they're crazy.
Yeah,
with the identity politics, with the social justice war, they're crazy. We just have to be quiet and point it out.
Can I point out something too? That Tim really chose his words poorly. For being a gay man, talking about pounding a-holes or beating a-holes just doesn't seem like the best choice of terms to use. It doesn't make you sound really wise when you're doing a call of beating people down like that. once again, you're creating division, but you're making yourself look foolish. I mean, let's be honest. He's opened himself up to all kinds of ridicule and things where all he had to do is go, hey, we've created a fantastic comic with great art, a great story that's different than the traditional book that you might want to give a try. Epic fail.
Add as many of these 4 variant covers for Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, to your pull list today. Pick them up in store next week, Tuesday the 24th. Thank you so much.
Okay,
hey, I'm Tim.
There you go, and that's the video that launched 1,000 ships. At least this video. So, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this. We've been dealing with this for 7 years now. Has it been? What was it? 2016, 2017. So it's been yeah.
The hysteria started around 15-ish.
2015. Well, I know I started my channel around then, but it was lost. I was doing all sorts of video. I was Captain Frugal back then, where I was just doing whatever came to my mind. And then actually, by the way, what got me started talking about the SJW stuff was I saw Captain Frugal and Captain Cummings on a video. And I listened to what they had to say about it. I was like, really? This is the state of comics now? And
but what did Captain Crunch have to say about it?
Captain Crunch had to say, if you speak again, I'm going to rip the fucking roof off of your mouth so quick. I don't like Captain Crunch. Dakino, what
ages?
Say again?
It's been ages since I've had Captain Crunch. And usually I wouldn't have it anyway because I usually stuck to the generic cheap stuff.
The big bag thing where you could get like a 15-pound bag for $5.
How frugal of you.
That's what that's what my mom used to buy us. Hey Dakina. Let's see. No, Tim, I don't think I will, says Jay, probably about buying the book. Eric Breen said, I did say F you to Tim Sheridan in a video, but that was for destroying the legacy of the JSA to prop up a sexually retconned Ed character. It's it's ridiculous. These characters have been around for 80 freaking years, and they're saying, you know what? Let's change them all. Why? Seriously, why? Because somebody needs represent. Stop. Anytime, and I hope this video reaches someone who can make a difference. Anytime you're saying that, stop. You come up with a freaking narrative reason that this person, and it can't be like, hey, all of a sudden we want them to be gay, so we're going to make them gay. No. If you think that there are coded messages, and it can't be 1963 where a character is supposed to be 13 years old, not ready to meet girls, going, oh, I hate girls. Well, that means he's gay. No, it means he hasn't been through that freaking process yet. You ignorant assholes that freaking changed Bobby because of one fucking sentence in a comic book 60 years ago. Good Lord, can they be more dumb? Probably so. We might not have seen the bottom of the barrel so far.
Oh, did you read this comment? I'm sorry, I stumbled across this conversation. Yeah, you tripped and fell into a video, you moron.
By the way, Beirut Wedding says, I'm so sorry I stumbled across this conversation. An hour and a half of my life, which, by the way, it's only 52 minutes.
Yes.
I'll never get back. So I'll tell you what, I, on the other hand, am not Tim Sheridan. I truly am not. So, Beirut Wedding, if you would like to come on and say what you feel, by all means, we will be respectful.
Yeah, I apologize. I said moron. I shouldn't have, and that was rude of me. But to say you stumbled in here for an hour and a half, that just is disingenuous. Like you said, it wasn't even an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's not yet an hour, but that doesn't matter. Still, I welcome differing opinions. Oh, by the way, I got a notice that somebody used my my entire video. It turned out to be a guy I debated a few years back. This video has been around for years, and finally they're sending me a copyright notice saying that he used my video. Do I want to claim it? No, he was part of the debate. I think he, he should be able to put it on his channel. He edited it though, and I made a comment when I saw it, dude, you shouldn't have edited it. Just let it go. because it feels disingenuous when you do that kind of thing. Like I would, if you do come on and you're going to debate me about something, I would rather people see everything. If I lose the debate, fine. But it was one of those, I owned this guy. No, you didn't. I'm sorry, but you really didn't. Let's see. Comic fans need the representation, says Yule Carter. That would be nice.
Well, the whole idea that times are changing. Yeah, no kidding. We accept that there's been changes. Why don't other people, when they think it hasn't, like they're still fighting fights of the past, like you're saying gays shouldn't exist here in the United States. They're the ones going back in the past.
Well, how about the times are changing, therefore create characters that mark the time rather than change well-established characters. If you want more, if you want more gay characters, create them, or get Apollo and Midnighter in there. I mean, for fuck's sake, they're going to be made into a movie according to James Gunn. So why not promote them? Why not put them in their own series now? So by the time the movies come out, there's an established continuity that people can jump onto. You know, why not do that? But yeah, the times are changing. Fuck that. Let me tell you something. Once again, maybe you didn't notice the gray on my beard, that I don't notice what's going on in the world. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Come on in, say your piece, and like I said, we'll talk about it. Let's see. Beirut Wedding, you're assuming we're fellas. How dare you? Actually, there's a whole array of humanity in the chat. Dakina, the world's changing all right into one of the worst timelines possible. The world is changing. New comic shelves have far more unsold copies than they used to. I don't know about you guys. Tell me if this happened to you. I remember the comic shop. I did a walking tour of it. It used to have like 6 shelves of new comics, and it's been 5, 4, now 3, where it used to just, they stopped selling new comics like they used to.
I've looked around the new town, so I found one comic shop, and here manga is 3 shelves, like 3 whole shelves. The comic books are just two rows of shelves.
The back issues are huge in the comic shop I go to.
There aren't no back issues here. It's just graphic novels, and it's
the one I go to, like the new books will end up in the warehouse, and they'll end up in these value packs and all that kind of stuff. And the real actual back issues, there's just, I mean, like I said, I did a walking tour. You could see it. It's just a huge section. Games are a huge section. Funko Pops and statues and figures, trade paperbacks. But the new book section, yep. You'll saying I still sell new comics very well, though. That's good. How are books like this? How are the books like the Green Lantern selling? Or the what would be something else? Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville. Does that get a lot of views?
Yeah, that one really disappointed me. I was looking forward to hoping that would be a good book, because those are 2 characters we never got a ton of. They were great in the Justice League, and I thought we could have a lot of fun with them. And I gave it a few issues, and it's like, I'm out.
Yeah, that can happen. Let's see. I'm tired of debating. F these brainwash useful idiots. I can't be tired of debating. They never debate. They'll snipe and they'll run away.
But okay. I like this one. Both my parents are moderate, a moderate liberal and a moderate conservative. My mother was conservative, but she passed away, so now she's a liberal. She'll be voting Democrat.
Yeah, now she votes Democrat.
Yeah.
Let's see. My parents are both moderate. Oh, okay. That's where you got that. Let's see. I don't buy a ton of them, but those do sell, says Yule Carter. So there is an audience for it. My shop is now biggest shelf manga, second Funko Pop's, third European comics. The shop was founded to sell U.S. trade paperbacks. Look, there's still some good trade paperbacks out there, just like there's still good back issues. I read a couple of good new books. I read, I actually, in the community tabs, I posted the reviews for it. Kong was one of them. I did, yeah, Kong. Kong's the good one. Actually, Sandman as well. That was good. Yeah.
I do have a great point, though. I think we should all appreciate this, though, for these kind of books that are packing up the shelves. Just remember, if we have another pandemic and toilet paper is in short supply, those comic books will always be readily available.
It's scratchy.
Yeah, but won't the ink harm your skin?
There's a shower next to the toilet.
No.
There's a
Unless
way
they
around it.
fixed it. Last I heard, Marvel's ink still comes off.
Oh, alrighty.
Like when you touch it, the ink just rubs off. Did they
I haven't
that, or
tested
did they
it.
not fix it?
Oh, by the way, yeah, I don't like. I just noticed over my shoulder here is proof that I hate the non-white characters and such. So, by the way, this is an awesome statue here. Yeah,
cool.
I think so. This is the storm right there. That I was waiting for that one. A lot of the storms I saw were like the cartoon one. God bless you, 90s kids. Give me the Claremont John Byrne storm.
Behind me on top of one of my shelves, I've got the Falcon looking like he's ready to soar. You know,
Falcon or Falcon Cap?
Falcon.
Ah, the proper. Most of the new comic book sales are from comic book stores that can't resell them to readers, says Dakina. I say I'm not. I don't know about that. I think I wouldn't mind having a conversation with some of the people who work at my comic shop. I was already thinking, because it's been requested, tomorrow I'm going to go to the warehouse, and I might actually bring the camera.
I think you should do that. I think it'd make a fantastic video going to local comic shops and just having some deep, nice discussions with them. Do you have mics and stuff to do that kind of thing, or would you need some stuff?
No, I've got a really good camera though. I bought it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, if you need like lapel mics or anything, I'd be more than happy to send you some.
Please do. I will not turn that down, because being able to speak into a lapel mic is a lot better than the sound on the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, please. Yes, that would be awesome. I would love to. I would love to have conversations and go around, because we've got quite a number of comic shops here in Orlando, in the greater Orlando area. Orlando is, of course, the central city, but I'm in a small town called Gotha, and it's close to a city called Ocoee, and you got Disney is right outside a city called Kissimmee. So we'll all tell you, I'm in Orlando if it's easier, because people know because of Disney where Orlando is. But yeah, that's neither here nor there.
Well, I'll have to hit you up, talk later. We'll see what kind of mics your camera takes and see what I can get you.
I'm going to be making changes to the auction. Unfortunately, the last two garnered less than $100. My channel's not making a lot of money, so I've got to figure out something new to do. I'll mention now, every Saturday night, we have an auction for a comic book auction at 8 p.m. Eastern. I watched other people's auctions, and I was like, I'm going to steal that. I'm going to steal this in order to maybe try something different. One of the things I'm going to try different, videos like this are going to start appearing on Ko-Fi. I'll toss one out here just to remind you guys, hey, most of them are going to be on Ko-Fi, and it's going to be behind a paywall, because this ain't making money. I got to figure out something to do so I could at least not be a burden on my family if I can't actually help them. But one of the things that's going to happen is I'm going to do giveaways. And if you are a member of Ko-Fi, then you're automatically drawn into these giveaways. This week, I was actually thinking of giving away my copy of The Demon #1. I've got somewhere around here. But I was thinking that would be what I would do. I would take if I can find it, I'll put something up as a giveaway. It might be Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, #111, which is the Gulliver Travels cover where she's tied down in a bikini. It's the bondage cover, basically. But point being is I'll have a giveaway comic, and if you if you buy a comic from the pull box, you'll be entered. I saw somebody do that. I thought that was brilliant. And I'm going to try to make it so people who are subscribed to the Ko-Fi are getting a lot of good content, and that's where the main focus is going to go. And then I'm going to spread out to here. So there you go. E is in to goth. Well, it's called Gotha, but yeah. Never actually been goth. No, I never liked that movement, by the way, even though I like Tim Burton movies, which is a prerequisite. So I don't know. Anywho, yeah, there's going to be a couple of changes. So please join us for the auction. Join me also tonight. We're going to do a live stream as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you very much to Black Cat and Captain Frugal for joining. That was awesome. And Captain, this door is always open. Always
I greatly appreciate it. I am sorry. I've been just, life is, you hear this from me a lot, but it's true. Very, very busy. But I always love popping on and talking to you guys. It's always a pleasure.
I know how it is, dude. When you're in the grind, you're always grinding. Yeah, all righty.
I'm no longer freelancing, so now that I'm back in college, I can't show up as much.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there you go. Thank you very much, guys. Please, if you haven't done it already, click like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make sure it's set on all. Once again, going over to community tabs on this channel to hook up with from the long box and all the comic book stuff we're doing there. This is the live streams. I like to talk about the politics of comics here, but just having fun with the books themselves. Later, like I said, it's Morbin time, and we're going to be doing the first appearance of Morbius, and tomorrow should be Alice Cooper. That's going to be a blast. So please keep an eye out for that. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.